Okay, here we're going to talk about applications of trig. I'm going to just give an example and then mention a little bit of vocabulary. Here's one example. So we have a helicopter. A helicopter is flying at 1,000 feet over a building. The pilot spots a person with an angle of depression of 40 degrees. How far is the person from the building? So here's a helicopter. So the first step is to draw a picture. Here's my helicopter. Don't laugh. Okay, and then here's the building that they're directly overhead. I label that to be 1,000 feet. Here's the person they spot. I draw a line connecting the helicopter with the person. We know that the angle of depression is 40 degrees. What that means is the angle from horizontal down to where the pilot sees the person is 40 degrees, as indicated here on the picture. Now I write equivalent information in red in addition to defining what we want to solve for. So we're looking for the distance from the person to the building, so I labeled that D. So I set up my variable, and now I know I want an equation involving D, 40 degrees, and 1,000. So I look at the relationship between 40 degrees and 1,000, and I see that it's opposite, and D is adjacent, so I should be looking at the tangent of 40 degrees, and I see that that's 1,000 over D. Now I multiply both sides by D, divide by tangent of 40, and I can approximate this with the calculator, and I get it's about 1,191.8 feet. Here is a little bit of vocabulary just so that you're able to do the problems. The angle of elevation is similar to the angle of depression. This is the initial side, and that's going to be horizontal, and the terminal side. And the angle of elevation is the angle in between. The angle of depression is the initial side and the terminal side. So the initial side is again horizontal, and the angle of depression is that angle that it spans. So in this picture above in the example, the angle of depression from the point of view of the helicopter is the same as the angle of elevation from the point of view of the person who is looking up to the helicopter. So I think the main thing is to read the question carefully, draw a good picture, label it well, define your variable, and then set up your equation and solve.